do, but I'm thrilled to be back here in Denver in the state. There's certain places I seem to keep going back to. Some of those places are frankly struggling. I keep going back to sort of push. And other places where I go more to celebrate, to acknowledge, and this is one of those places. And it's interesting, one of the great joys of my job is being able to travel the country, and you see certain patterns. And often you sort of see three sort of categories of stuff. You go to some places where the adult relationships are just pretty dysfunctional, frankly, where higher ed doesn't talk to K-12, K-12 doesn't talk to early childhood, management doesn't talk to union doesn't talk to management. Everybody's pointing fingers and blaming each other, and when that happens, children fall through the cracks. You have other places that are sort of getting along and collaborating, but they're not really doing anything. So it's sort of lots of happy talk, lots of nice little meetings, but no real progress. And then I put Denver and Colorado in a very different situation, very different context of what I call tough-minded collaboration, where folks are absolutely working together, and there's a real sense of trust. And you guys are driving reform. You're not just sort of celebrating the status quo. Everybody's working to get to the next level. And I appreciate the leadership here so much. I frankly wish more districts and more states had the kind of leaders that you have. I can't overemphasize how much courageous leadership means. None of us have enough resources. We don't fund higher ed enough. We're trying to put more money there. We don't fund K-12 nearly enough. We're trying to invest more there. Probably the best investment we can make is in early childhood education. We're trying to do a lot more there. But we're just never going to have enough dollars. So what we do as leaders, what we do to drive change and to maximize resources and to all move outside our comfort zones, ultimately that determines how well our children are going to do. And there's so many examples of success. To see a campus that's district and charter, not even sure what's what. Our kids don't care whether they go to a charter school or a district school. No 7-year-old knows that. They just want to go to a great school with a great principal, good teachers. That's all that matters. We need a lot more schools that look like that of every form and fashion. We need a lot less schools that don't look like that. So good district schools are part of the solution. Bad district schools are part of the problem. Good charters are part of the solution. Bad charters are part of the problem. And we have to be very honest in those conversations. Where things are working, let's celebrate them, let's replicate them, let's learn from them. When things aren't working, let's not just sort of admire the problem, let's challenge it. And I encourage you to challenge some of those schools where it's not working, be they district or charter. The second thing is, and everyone talked about it here, is children have very, very different needs. And historically, we've sort of had a one-size-fits-all mentality. School day was 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, 9 months out of the year. That works really well for some children. Other children need 12, 13, 14 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week, 11, 12 months out of the year. And schools can't do that by themselves. You have to have nonprofit partners. You have to have faith-based institutions. You have to have social service agencies step up. But collectively, we have to figure out what every single child needs to be successful and not stand on the sidelines and not let them get the help and the support they need. As you guys continue to innovate and provide that kind of flexibility at the school and at the community level, I think, again, the lessons aren't just good for your children here in this state, but around the nation. So I thank you for your hard work. I thank you for your leadership. I just left the National Governors Association meeting in Washington, left your governor. I can't tell you how many governors were coming up to him asking, how are you getting this stuff done? How are you doing things in a collaborative way? How is the union buying into reform, not fighting it? How is management moving outside their comfort zone? Really fascinating things happen that other governors just aren't seeing in their states. Senator Michael Bennett, I think, is going to be the education leader nationally for a long time to come in the Senate. You're so lucky to have him. Very selfishly, I feel so lucky to have him there. There's just a level of leadership to have a lieutenant governor, be a former community college president, Bob Hammond here, Tom Boasberg. You just have a series of leaders that I think give you a chance to be extraordinarily successful. The final thing I'll say is please challenge us to be a good partner. And we want to get out of the way when we should be out of the way. We want to support reform when we can support it. The real work, the hard work, the good ideas are always going to come from you. Frankly, not come from me or anyone else in Washington. And whatever we can do to help you lead the state where it needs to go, I think by doing that, you guys collectively help lead the country where we need to go. So I thank you for the hard work. I celebrate the extraordinary successes and the reform you're driving, but for all the past success, I'm much more optimistic about where you're going. And as you guys break through here, the implications are absolutely national. I'll stop there. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to having a great conversation. Thank you.